Our final award today is the E. David Spong Lifetime Achievement Award. To receive the Spong Award, an individual must have made sustained, exceptional, far-reaching contributions to the Baldrige community. Lifetime Achievement Award recipients change their worlds and inspire others to do likewise. Dr. Spong has been a Baldrige practitioner and advocate throughout his career, and he led 2 different divisions of Boeing to receive the National Malcolm Baldrige Quality Award. Dr. Spong's career spans more than 5 decades and encompasses many varied leadership roles. At every step, Dr. Spong has been a champion of the Baldrige framework and the Baldrige enterprise. And Dr. Spong, you are here on the stage with us to present your namesake award. On behalf of the Baldrige Foundation, I am privileged to announce that Tommy Gonzalez is the 2022 recipient of the E. David Spong Lifetime Achievement Award. Please come to the stage, Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez is currently using Baldrige as city manager of the city of El Paso, Texas. Previously, under Dr. Gonzalez's leadership as its city manager, the city of Irving, Texas, was a 2013 recipient of the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. Mr. Gonzalez's use of the Baldrige framework now continues to shape the successes of 2 large Texas cities. In addition, he continues to serve the entire state of Texas as the chair of its state-based Baldrige program, the Quality Texas Foundation, where he has served 3 terms as chair since 2017. And beyond, Mr. Gonzalez also serves Baldrige as a member of the Board of Directors for Communities of Excellence 2026, a new Baldrige initiative aimed at advancing community health and success and prosperity. And through his efforts, along with all of the Communities of Excellence 2026, we hope soon to see community added as a 7th Baldrige Award category. Mr. Gonzalez, we are so proud of your accomplishments.
Congratulations. Thank you, Madam Chair. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Baldrige Foundation for this incredible honor. Al Faber, Madam Chair of the Board of Directors, thank you so very much. I'm truly honored to receive the E. David Spong Lifetime Achievement Award. Dr. Spong is an incredible person, and he's a hero of mine, and he is what Baldrige means to all of us. Also, I want to recognize Ms. Spong. It was a pleasure visiting with you. And my wife and I really enjoyed getting to know you. I want to recognize my team that made the trip. Tracy Jerome, Deputy City Manager. Also want to recognize Laura Cruz Acosta, Communications Director. Tracy Jerome is one of the lead Baldrige examiners, of course. We have a lot of people in our organization that are examiners. So is Laura Cruz Acosta. Also want to recognize Rick Aceas, Communications Manager in our department, as well as Mario Rodriguez, also with our Communications Department. I want to thank someone very special to me, the most special thing to me, and I want to save the best, obviously, for last. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Sandy, for accompanying me in life for the last 34 years, and most recently in the Irving, Texas, and El Paso Baldrige journey. Thank you, baby. The Baldrige framework has been incredibly helpful in Irving and now El Paso. The business operating system has made us truly resilient. By utilizing this system, we have been able to show how it can truly prepare you for challenges before they happen. We're able to do that in Irving before the housing market crash, saving millions and ensuring we continue to pay our employees the pay increases during a downtime in our economy, a huge motivator for our staff. At the same time, we reduced our personnel costs by 10%, and we also were able to raise the customer service requirements and the satisfaction rates by double digits in all departments, culminating in the National Malcolm Baldrige Award. After being awarded the Malcolm Baldrige Award, several organizations approached me in the city of Irving to learn more about how we were able to earn such an award. We happily assisted everyone who sought out information. We were happy to hear that one of those cities won the state and later the national award. That was Fort Collins, Colorado. The other city that recently won was Pharr, Texas, in the state of Texas, the state award, and they continue on the Baldrige journey for the national award. We're currently working with Henderson, Nevada, as well as 3 other cities. They're all truly exceptional organizations. We find that by helping others, we're able to stay fresh with ideas and stay motivated on our own journey. But we also find that we learn a great deal from those we share information with as they share their best practices and that makes us better. Aside from helping other organizations across the state of Texas and beyond, in 2018, we started taking Baldrige to other agency partners in our own community. This resulted in working with approximately 20 agencies. We did this by inviting all agency heads to a meeting where we had 3 initiatives. The first one was the Baldrige training. We had Mac McGuire teach the Baldrige application process. We called it a champion level training. We also, secondly, we committed to a community project to demonstrate our collective resolve to working with one another. So what we did is we committed to work with all the school districts, the junior college, the UTEP, which is a Tier 1 university, and teach approximately 500 kids the City of El Paso's budget. City of El Paso is $1 billion in operational budget, and it's another $1 billion in capital improvements. So we did it really to kind of show the council how, the youth could learn about the budget, but we also wanted to show the administrators in all the school districts how they could apply the STEM process, the STEM program, to actual application of learning how to lead and manage a $1 billion budget and another $1 billion in capital improvements. That proved extremely successful. The city council was very inspired by that process. They then made that committee a youth advisory committee. So they chose 9 kids from that committee to become a youth advisory committee to the council, and they completed a strategic plan for the community. So all this work was done as just one of the initiatives that we all plan to do as 20 organizations. The third initiative was to commit to share a day of best practices with these organizations, to have a conference of sorts and share best practices, our best practice, and then what their best practice is, and kind of learn from each other. We haven't had that yet. That's our third initiative that we plan on working through. This process led to training other agencies in Lean Six Sigma, training other agencies in the Malcolm Baldrige process, and learning and working together and training together. Again, this all happened in 2018. All of this work truly made us resilient and prepared us for what we didn't know was going to come. We had 3 different events happen back to back to back. We had the immigration crisis. We then had the August 3rd atrocity that occurred in our community where a young man came from North Texas to kill 23 of our own people in our own backyard. And then we had the pandemic that we've all lived through. So we've all gone through the pandemic, but we all had to kind of prepare for that and kind of work through that, but you don't really prepare for the other crises that challenged us. So for example, in the work that we did with the immigration crisis, we streamlined the process with local, state, and federal agencies as we dealt with the immigration matter. We don't have the types of challenges that other border cities have had because we were working with each other prior to that occurring. So We process each person, we house them, we make sure that we feed them, and we transport them to where they need to go. We've had visits from other border cities to see how we were doing it. During the August 3rd hate crime, where the young man came and shot the people that I mentioned earlier, that was a time that was very sad for our community. We really didn't want that particular issue to define us as a community. Instead, we wanted to show everyone how a safe and compassionate community responds to that type of adversity. Our community truly demonstrated our true character during that time. While others, as you've seen throughout the country, were throwing water on officers, our community was bringing water to our officers. During this time, we also demonstrated community leadership when a North Texas city attempted to cancel a football game with one of their high schools and one of our El Paso high school football teams. We kind of sprang into action as a community. So following that horrible crime, canceling a football game between what represented the two geographic areas that collided during a fateful August 3rd day in 2019 would have simply exacerbated an already difficult situation. I mean, sports really are supposed to unite us, right? Not divide us. And so, having played sports when I was young and playing college sports, it was really something that was near and dear to me and was very, I guess, a special moment because we came together as a community because we rallied and worked with the Dallas Cowboys and several other entities to put the game back on at the Star in Frisco, Texas. Instead of worsening memories for our youth, we created a beautiful memory and continued the healing process. This would have had not been possible without the groundwork we did in 2018. That was the foundation to our deep and broad relationship we have been able to forge with all our community partners. Finally, we then faced the pandemic as the rest of the world has. We're at one point the most infected city in the world. And so we could have toppled with all that pressure and just listened to a lot of the rhetoric at the state and national level. Instead, what we did is we followed the data. That's what Baldrige teaches us. Followed the data. We really worked on our communication infrastructure, our infrastructure as a whole, how we use technology to do things different than how other people were doing it. Some folks were just first come, first serve, and we were getting heavy pressure to succumb to that pressure. Instead, we just stuck to our processes, stuck to our systems. Again, what Baldrige teaches us, and because we had worked together as a community since way back in 2018, really kind of got us ready, again, for the immigration crisis that I talked about, the August 3rd event that none of us would have thought would have happened, and then, of course, the pandemic that we've all gone through. So we went from the most infected city on the planet, literally, no joke, and of course, we did not want that designation, to leading the state and the federal government in shots in arms. We were recognized by the CDC and Rockefeller as the best vaccine rollout in the United States. That work that I talked about made us better. We did Lean Six Sigma initiatives together, projects together with UMC, our county hospital, and we took the 3-hour-long waits to 15 minutes, and in some cases 5 minutes in our mega sites. And again, no different than what other communities did. You've heard of all of this. But we were able to really take a huge problem and take it down to the results that I mentioned. And what we're most proud of is that we worked together as a community using the same framework, same methodology, and threw in some Lean Six Sigma into it, and we're able to get those kind of results. So Baldrige really works, not only for an organization, but it has proven vital to deal with the challenges that could have toppled our community. So it can work for communities if you share the Baldrige framework with others and create a true communities of excellence. When you train together, you can learn together. Helps you all get on the same sheet of music and speak the same language. But in the end, you develop meaningful relationships that lead to mutual results. Because when you have mutual challenges, you need to overcome these challenges as a community, not silos. That's what Baldrige means to me. By utilizing Baldrige, we as a community were not only able to overcome these very real challenges, but we were able to transform our organization as well as our community. We transformed physically by the renaissance in our downtown, nearing 900 capital projects since we placed the strategic plan in place throughout our entire community, not just in one part of the city, reaching pre-pandemic numbers with our flights at the airport. Before the pandemic, we had 21 direct flights that we've been able to secure. So getting back to pre-pandemic is a big deal for us because we're a mid-sized market. And I know a lot of you have told stories about how you wait in line or that you have these, god-awful trips that take a very long time. So getting more direct flights was very, very important in our community, like I'm sure it's important to yours. Being named an All-America City 3 out of the last 4 years, we were awarded the State of Texas Performance Excellence Award 2 years in a row, and we were a finalist in the Malcolm Baldrige process this year, but we did not win. It's a very difficult process. I respect the process. It does make you better, and I want to thank the Baldrige Foundation, also NIST, and Dan and Mr. Fangmeyer and his whole team. They do an incredible job for our United States of America. Most importantly, though, we transformed a community. And I believe we transformed a community by connecting with our community here, by having a strong strategic plan and being to intellectually talk and be on the same page and have goals and objectives and work together to accomplish them. We were able to connect with people here by seeking out and finding what their passion is. And then we were able to connect with them by them touching the result. The result were things like we had people, when we put a program in place in our organization, like the Shape It Up program, which is a wellness program, we had one individual lose 220 pounds. She became the world champion weightlifter in the world, and she lost 220 pounds in the process because of that wellness program. She went from assistant director to animal services director, an assistant director in parks, animal services director. We were able to go from 23% live release rate to 89% live release rate. I can go on and on about the type of results that we were able to achieve by having these programs in place. But what Baldrige means to me is that it can truly transform individuals, it can truly transform organizations, and then it can then help you work with agency partners to transform communities. So I want to thank you again for honoring me with this amazing award. And on behalf of our community, I humbly accept it. God bless you, and may God bless all of us, whether it's during good times or bad. Thank you.